I'm Angie Tourani, an holistic healthcare practitioner, BodyTalk practitioner. Today we are going to talk about depression. Now, depression and mental health issues have been so common in our society post-COVID. Now, depression is when you just don't have a zest for life. You're feeling low. It's just no interest in life and feeling totally debilitated. Depression is your ability to cope with a situation. So let's say if there's a prolonged situation in a family, finances, that you just don't know what to deal with it, then it's the depression that sweeps in, which is a very slow process. And depression, interestingly, goes hand in hand with exhaustion and fatigue. So many times people will say, I'm just feeling so tired. But that is the starting point of depression, feeling low, exhausted, fatigued. Now, anxiety and depression, again, are quite common. The difference between the two is anxiety is more head-brain related. It's the amygdala complex, it's the nervous system, it's the communication between the left and right hemisphere, and the left brain being in override. Anxiety has also to do a lot with your gut, which is serotonin, whereas heart energy, the depression, is purely heart condition. So when your heart shen is depleted, which is the heart energy is depleted, you simply have no motivation and joy for life. Our heart also produces 90% of dopamine, which is our happy hormone. And the depletion in that heart dopamine could lead to depression. The heart is everything to do with our relationships, relatedness, the way we relate to work, situations, people. And many times depression is addictive. So when a person is feeling depressed, they would want to hear depressive songs, they would do things that are depressive. And it's the depression that sort of contributes to anxiety. Now, generally, our heart brain, when it's functioning well, it produces hormones and neurotransmitters that sort of switch off the excessive thinking, worrying of the head brain. When your heart is depressed, when you're not producing those dopamine, ANF hormones, then the head brain is in overdrive. And generally, people who are depressed, they feel anxious very frequently. So when we're talking about depression, we are looking at how to support the heart and support the mental health issues. Now, we have got centers in the brain called amygdala complex, which is all about fight, flight, survival mode. The brainstem produce dopamine and serotonin, which is the fuel for the brain. So each time your amygdala complex is under stress, there's dopamine and serotonin, though even it's a small proportion of dopamine and serotonin, which is produced in your brainstem, is like a fuel that triggers and switches off that stem response. Then the major dopamine is produced in the heart brain, as well as oxytocin, which is the hormone of your connection. So with BodyTalk treatments, we'll be looking at what is going on under the surface that is contributing to this underlying depression. So many times it is environmental factors, anxiety, stress, active emotional traumas. So literally even politics or war, crisis, reading news, that all energy can impact somebody into feeling that low and depressive mode. Because this amygdala complex is triggering the stress response and that sense of helplessness, not knowing how to deal with the situation. So with BodyTalk treatments, it's all about listening to your unique story, identifying what are those causative factors that could be affecting the nervous system into this heightened fight and flight survival mode, and more importantly, repairing and optimizing those circuits in the brain, which is dopamine and serotonin that's produced in the brainstem, which could be compromised due to lesions, adhesions, epigenetic markers, and then repairing the heart brain and gut brain for amplifying the production of serotonin and GABA. So depression is basically a prolonged condition, and with BodyTalk treatments, you get amazing results. So I could share with you a story of one of the clients that I saw. She was on antidepressants for over 20 years, and she wanted to wean off antidepressants, and that's how she was referred to BodyTalk treatments. And it took a couple of treatments addressing all the belief systems, perceptions, issues around self-acceptance is a huge one that makes a person prone to anxiety and depression. So with the treatments, we were able to address all the underlying factors, the stressors that had accumulated in her life, the centers of the brain that were underfunctioning, that were triggered into heightened stress response, the heart, that the self-love and acceptance that was compromised, which in turn was contributing to this depleted sense of self-worth. And it took literally a couple of sessions, and it came through amazing results for her, where she was able to wean off the medication and feel extremely great. So depression is many times just a symptom that could be treated by addressing all the underlying conditions and nutrition deficiencies many times. So BodyTalk treatments work amazing. Check out my website and sign up for sessions if you'd like to know more. Thank you.